Here. That one's already locked up towards you. Uh, uh.
I got all these studs with me. What do I got? Hey, Johnny,
What's up?
well played, boy.
How you guys doing?
I got the legend sitting next to me, the young kid named the Black Prince, Robbie Robinson.
Yes, sir. Know of him very well.
When was the first time you heard about Robbie Robinson?
Robbie Robinson. Probably when I was a kid. So I used to read like the muscle and fitness magazines when I was a kid. Remember when you were like a teenager? I mean, well, us as teenagers, I guess. You could go into like me as a teenager, whatever, because I am younger than you. But I'd go, in any store, gas station, whatever it is, and that's when magazines were everywhere, right? You had every kind of magazine there was. And, obviously as a kid like that, I wasn't as big as I wanted to be, and that's kind of when I looked and directed. And that's kind of where I learned of some of these legends here, like Robbie. So, I've seen his training through many years, obviously, on video. I've seen him train with you on video quite a few times, too, as well. And, man, I mean, the guy looks amazing, and it's just defying age, right? I mean, that's what it's all about, too. Quality of life and defying age and looking your best.
Now, my team is going to edit this and put some other layovers over this, so they can so the fans can fully understand a little discussion we're going to have today.
Sure.
Now, my girl Mona, the Beast, the Savage, we were just talking about it. Great partner to have because she don't skip workouts. Right. If I sit there and I start crying and sound like a snowflake, she's like, "You're a little bee. Get your ass in there." It's like, "Hey, I want to have a cheat day."
Yeah.
What for? You fat pig? Get in there. There's no off. Mona doesn't go off. She just straight. Yeah. And we're just talking about that. And that's how you have to have a partner. And I know that you have that, and I know that you have a strong partner.
Yeah.
So the other day we get this post or comment on Mona's post. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Titan Medical and going to get your blood work.
Yep.
And this is where you come in. This is this discussion that somebody said, the only reason Mike O'Hearn would be doing blood work is to get gassed out of his mind.
That's right. I seen this comment. I actually answered back to it.
A guy, double nickels, is only doing blood work because he's going to get gassed out of his mind.
Right.
I'm absolutely confused on the ignorance of this because blood work has been around for medication
of course.
Yeah. Since I was a little boy.
You're closing in on 80. When was the first? Most people get their blood work done.
Of course.
When they go see the doctor, what's going on? Hey, 35, 40 years old.
Yep.
That was a shock to me.
Yeah.
You were so nice on the rebuttal. Talk to me when you were starting to do your blood work. And just think about this.
I never did blood work until I came out here in 1975.
1975, you were...
I was 24, 25,
wow.
24, 25.
Yeah. 1975, they had blood work. That's odd to me. I thought that was just a new thing that Titan Medical brought up.
Yeah. It's just like, I had never even heard of it before. Blood work, what is that? And I came out and we had me go to a doctor, and the doctor said, we need to do blood work. And I said, really, what is that? And he said, well, we have to take your blood and determine if there's, you have any kind of illness or anything, right? And I said, okay, cool, and I didn't have any problems. At that point, I didn't have any problem, no health issues, no whatsoever.
Later on in this, I do want to talk about the syndrome you have and when you discovered that. But continue on this for right now.
The whole thing of it is I had never done any blood work. Nobody had even told me about it. I didn't know such a thing existed. As I say, I grew up in the swamp, Florida. Nobody did any blood work. What was that?
Right.
You couldn't afford it anyway. So I came here in 1975. Joe Weeder said, Robbie, you need to go to the doctor and get your blood work done. I said, okay, cool. What the hell is that? I never heard such a thing. So I go to the doctor. The doctor says, you have sickle cell anemia. You have a blood disorder at this point. He said, blood disorder. So I said, well, what the hell is a blood disorder? And he said, well, we do more blood work on you, and then we'll find out. So I came after that. We were all preparing for the Mr. World. I was preparing for Mr. World. All of us trained for Miss Olympia. And I took, I remember training up. We got 2 weeks out before the competition. I remember in the gym, just like you have it here now, somebody come and say, what you taking? And what you
Right. What's your cycle, dog?
And I said, nothing. I'm just, just going in here bodybuilding the bodybuilding. Because I didn't know that kind of thing even existed, anabolic even existed. I thought you go in and you gut bust.
Right.
Kill it. And then you leave and go back home and kill it again. Nobody said about eat your food. Nobody talked to me about any kind of anabolic substances the whole time I was preparing for the world, and all was training for the Olympics. We were all training together. And then I realized that, wow, I'm handling the same way these dudes handling it, and I'm not on anything. You understand what I'm saying? People have to understand that this is what's made up in here. If you ain't got it in here, ain't no drug gonna give it to you. I'm sorry. It's all cosmetic. It's a cosmetic form of cosmetic. It's not something that is going to build you muscle. You got the dog, 500, 400, 300, deadlift, squat, leg press. You have to do the heavy iron. And if you're not doing that, it's not going to happen. Anyway, get back to my story. 2 weeks out from the Mr. World, the guy in the gym said, hey, Robbie, what you on? I said, what you talking about? He said, well, come back this afternoon. I came back, and they gave me a shot of Primobolan Depot. This is the most strongest natural anabolic. I would say that's the anabolic that wouldn't probably trigger me anything. And I came back, they gave me the shot. I walked home. Honest to God, I felt my body go, whoop. I said, whoa, what is this, Walked on home. I got to the top of my stairs, knocked on the door for my lady to come to the gym, collapsed. I didn't know what.
Wow.
I'm on the floor, shaking.
Oh, no.
Going through all these changes, and I'm almost like spitting, I'm almost foaming at the mouth. And then I relaxed, and she, Robbie, what's wrong? What's wrong? She dragged me in the house, threw me in the tub, hot cup, and drank cold water on me. She saved my life.
Oh, wow.
I go back to the doctor and say, well, you have sickle cell anemia.
I got you.
From that point on, I knew that I couldn't overly indulge in that cosmetically
realm.
like that I had to find the right amount of the dosages that would carry me through 8 weeks. And that's what I've done my whole career for 27 years.
So you're this legend that's been in the industry, and to me, the number one human ever to exist that stayed at the pinnacle of the health and fitness world longer than anybody. You just were in here squatting 3 bills and doing the press with 500. And again, you're closing in on 80, and you're still doing this. And you found out in the 70s you had this illness, but you did it because you did blood work.
Yeah.
You understood that there was something, and then you set your game plan up smart so you could do this for the longest time.
Period.
And that's where we go back to blood work. And that's why John over at Titan Medical, again, it goes back to, I get it. You guys think one thing. It's not about that. It's about living a lifetime of being a true savage. Not like, hey, I'm working out. No. Again, leading the world in this. And again, I look at this and I go, oh, I've been training a long time, but I got to do another 20, 30 years to catch you. It's like, this is cool that the possibility is there.
Right.
And John, tell us about things that maybe, if you can, without giving names, when you do blood work on some people, do you find like the PSA is high or the cholesterol's blown up, and you send these people to save their lives?
Right. So, we see a wide variety of range of patients, males and females, and demographics from 21 to 59 years old. Usually there are a couple of people that are in the 60s that we do treat. It's just so random. You don't know. You can't judge a book by its cover. I've seen guys come in here that look like Adonis. They look like Ferraris on the outside and Pinto engines on the inside. Kidneys are in renal failure. I mean, liver functions are through the roof. Hemoglobin, hematocrit, red blood cell counts through the roof. Things that don't look good on paper in blood work, right? And you look at somebody and you're like, man, like this person is the most healthiest person I've ever seen in my life. He's just so cut and so lean and so big, man. It's awesome. But when you start looking on the inside, that's really what really true determines what's going on. So I've seen that. I've seen guys that come through here at all ages too, like 30, 40, or 50 years old. PSAs have been high. And when PSAs go high, that is an indicator, a blood marker to say, hey, listen, you need to go see a specialist about this. So if somebody came back and their PSA was, let's say, even a 3.4, which is getting really close to that 4.0 scale or higher, we're going to send them to urology. We want to make sure the specialist checks them. If they have to give them the finger test, if they've never had that, to check, or they even do biopsies. I've had patients where the PSA goes up, and PSAs going up doesn't automatically mean that you have prostate cancer. It is an indicator that could possibly be prostate cancer down the road. But there's other guys out there that have got infections of the prostate that will inflame the prostate, enlarge the prostate, and then at that point, they take the antibiotics and the prostate goes down. So they're perfectly fine. But you got some people out there, BPH, enlarged prostates, and they take Cialis every day, and that lowers it, but they don't have prostate cancer.
Well, like I said, Cialis every day lowers your piece. Give me that
that's
again.
Correct. Yes. So tadalafil or Cialis is the commercial drug. They use it for patients that have BPH. And that's when the prostate is enlarged, and they take that to lower the prostate, and it will take down the size of the prostate to a certain degree. They've also got a couple other medications out there that they use. So
that seems like the fun one to use, though.
Yeah. No, it really is, right? It really is. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, even when you have sexual intercourse, you ejaculate, whatever it may be, the prostate will enlarge. So even we tell patients, like, listen, if you've had any issues with prostates or PSAs going high, the best thing to do is stay abstinent from sex at least 72 hours before the blood test. If they've had liver functions or kidney functions that are reading wrong, right? We tell them that, listen, don't work out at least one day before you come in and do the blood test, because these can throw those different markers off. If you're not hydrating properly, this can throw your kidney markers.
I got to stop you again, man, because this is, again, the main thing that I've ever heard, again, is just fast when you do the blood work. But now we added some more things onto here.
For sure.
This is great. So fasting is a must.
Yep. Fasting's a must. It's not a must for every blood test, but depending on what blood test you have on your blood, your labs. So for instance, testosterone free and total is not going to be determined by if you fast or not fast. The only things that you really have to fast for is your fasting glucose level, which you'll see your glucose of what it is at that point in time, or your cholesterol. Those are big ones. LDL, HDL, and the ratio, triglycerides, total cholesterol. These things can be skewed if you do eat before you go in and do the blood test. So that's always the biggest thing. And when we tell people to fast, it's usually 12 hours before their blood test. But if they don't have a fasting blood test they need to do, let's say a person just wants to get a recheck on their PSA. You don't have to fast for that. That's not a problem. You can go in and get your PSA and not be an issue.
Let's go if we can. Let's go the full gambit.
Sure.
Make sure that you have enough water.
Yes.
Before you get
make sure
tested.
you're hydrated. Yeah.
If you can, fast before that, just to check those important the blood markers.
Yeah.
No sex for how long?
So, if you have a PSA problem, and that's not everybody, we tell that somebody that does have a PSA problem, maybe that's been a reaching high or it's been over 4.0 before with us, we tell them to stay abstinent from sex at least 72 hours because that can enlarge the prostate. If you're
I'm just going to make a note for Clark Bartram. That's one thing he has to, because that boy's.
Because, if it was me or you and we see our blood test and we came back at a 1.0 every time, 1.3, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You can have sex right before you come in and get the blood test, and you're going to be fine. But if you're in those categories, in those high risk categories, and people know who they are, then at that point you have to prepare and plan the best to get the exact result, the right on result, instead of maybe a skewed result or something could be affecting that result. That's the best way to do it. And if there is something that comes back wrong, right, something's off, then you need to talk to the provider. If you talk to us, we're going to tell you exactly what to do. Like I just said now, we'll give you some tips to go back, and then we'll retest, and we'll see what's going on there. And if that retest comes back bad, we can do a third and do a medium of the things. But usually if you get 2 to 3 blood tests that are showing the same result or around the same result, it's probably going to be the result for sure, 100%.
I gotta, did you read this one, Jeffrey?
No. So I'm in my 60s. Robbie Robinson gives me the inspiration to know I can do it too. My birthday is within the next 3 days, and my workouts are going great with my partner, my wife, Lori Walton. She's so much stronger than she was a few months ago. Thank you, Robbie and Mike. I train for longevity.
That's awesome.
See, I love that. I love that I'm sitting next to this legend, and I know that you said that you read about him in the magazines. I had pictures of him on my wall.
Oh wow.
I would cut those magazines out and his workout. What did Robbie do for those peaks and his biceps? And I would put that up there on the wall with a picture of him doing that beautiful, just a tilt of the waistline to the side and the double bicep, and I'd put that up there. My brothers, me and my 4 brothers, would do that workout religiously, and then I get him walking through my house this morning for leg day that most of you skip. Most of you out there watching this right now, you know who you are.
Like the
You
legs.
skip.
You got to get them.
This man over here freaking coming in, hitting that 5 bills and
Come on,
talking
please.
smack, going,
Chump
you
change.
ain't doing that. I'm from the swamps, boy. Get your ass moving. It just,
Put on the iron.
right?
Yeah, you got
But
to do it.
he walked in and it raises the testosterone
Oh,
naturally.
Yeah.
It's like you
Flying it.
Mona walks in there and goes, all right, I'm out of here. You know, it's just like, it's awesome to have that,
Yeah.
but it's even better to have that somebody that's seasoned and done it and healthy today, still doing it at that level, not surviving,
That's huge.
showing you guys out there what's possible now that you've done the bodybuilding world. Just it owes you so much, but you've also been able to have this physique that 20-year-olds wish they had. I wish I had. And you've done this, and you've stayed healthy by doing a moderate amount, but checking your blood and staying intelligent instead of being these gym guys that are out there watching this right now going,
Yep.
I just take what the most jacked guy does.
That's right.
It's like, again, they can come to you right now and say, Titan said me to come over and get a discount on the blood work.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's real simple and real easy to do. You just got to say, hey, listen, Mike or Titan or even Robbie sent me. And at that point, I want to get blood work. Say if you're a male or female, we'll give you a discount, whatever it is. We'll set you up. It's very simple. We take a couple of the demographics over the phone. We collect the payment. We send you a prepaid lab requisition slip with the link to the nearest labs in your location. You walk in with that slip. You give them the slip. They draw your blood, and you get the results in 3 to 4 business days. There's nobody that turns it over faster. These are the most inexpensive tests across the country. I beat everybody, whether it's a single test or full in-depth panels. And we can get really crazy, too, on these blood panels. But at that point, it's so easy now. Even back in the day when Robbie had to go in 1975, you think how hard it was to get blood work or ask a doctor to get blood work? I mean, even the 90s, think about it, early 2000s. Now it's so
20 years
simple.
ago,
It's at your
2000.
fingertips.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, listen, come do this. There's no restriction. There's nobody that's going to be hawking you, judging you, condoning you. Like, at that point, you get the blood checked. Hey, listen, if you're doing your own thing and you think that's the wisest thing to do for yourself, at least be educated about it and see what's going on the inside. That way, if there is something happening, you can make an educated decision to stop or find help if you possibly need it. And that's the biggest thing. We don't know most of the time when something's going wrong until it's too late. So, right? So, I mean, at that point, we got to run diagnostics on ourselves. We do it on everything else that we do in our lives, our house, our cars, everything else, right? So at that point, you got to put yourself a little bit before everything, because without you having your health, you're not doing any of those things. And it's a domino effect. They're all going to fall. So, that's the big thing. I mean, blood work is really important, guys. I can't stress it enough.
When I know how you are with with his drinks, I mean, let me see this. This man.
What's he got?
It's not moonshine. Don't worry. It's not moonshine, everybody. But we got some creatine in here. We got some aminos in here. We got some
Citrulline,
the sertraline and amino acids.
30 grams of glutamine. Creatine.
So this is what you drink through the day.
I drink this throughout my workout. It keeps my body and energy elevated. Amino acids. I do this twice a day. First thing in the morning when we're training. And then the second time in the afternoon is just basically amino acids, creatine, glutamine, citrulline.
And you also
again.
talked, I think it was
Arginine.
There's
for
some
the
other
heart.
stuff in there too.
Mhm.
They have a Hercules potion
Yeah.
right there. This
Yes.
man has
Yes,
a
sir.
similar potion
Yes.
that will make you strong, make you energetic, make you
Yeah,
a
keep you
freaking going.
That's what it is.
Just like that, in an injectable at the Titan Medical, the Hercules potion. Ask for that for you guys out there that want to
Yeah. Hey.
mimic, which I do.
Yeah.
I so mimic things that he does.
Yeah, I also get intravenous feeding. I get the intravenous feeding, glutamine, L-glutamine,
Yep.
creatine, all the amino acids, glutathione, B12.
You know you love the glutathione.
I love the
Absolutely,
glue.
right? You love it.
I love it.
He lives by this
Yes,
stuff.
it keeps you young forever.
Absolutely.
You know,
It's a super
I'm
antioxidant.
80, I'll be turning 80 my next birthday. I
Yeah.
feel so young. I don't feel like a 7, 8-year-old person. I feel
Trust
like
me,
I feel
you're
vibrant.
not like a 40-year-old
Yeah,
person.
I'm-
I know some 40-year-olds, some
Invigorated.
35-year-olds.
I feel-
You ain't that.
Definitely.
You walk into the house and the house lights up. My dogs start just as like, oh, a real wolf is in the house now. They start howling.
Yeah,
And it's cool to see. And I said this the other day. I said, be a kid, die as young as late as possible.
never lose the little boy in.
And then never
That's
lose
right.
the little boy. And when you walk in, you're always that 14-year-old kid
Yeah.
that used to sneak into the gym because of where you were living.
I
You had to
love
sneak in. So for all you that don't go, I don't got a gym. This boy snuck in late at night to work out.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So
In a candlelight.
stop it. Yeah. They're making excuses. You sliding down that rope.
Oh,
Remember the rope back
hey,
in the day?
I used to get up on top of the gym. I used to climb up a pecan tree, get on top of Florida A&M University gym. The glass was already broken at the top, so all I had to do was just unlatch the latch, get in. I would walk across a steel beam.
Still
That was a
old
box
school,
of clothing.
40 feet in the
That was
air.
a box of clothing. The gym ceiling was up here. I would stand there, come down on that rope, and look down where the box was. Boom, right in that box. Go in the thing, light my candle, put the basketball thing behind it so you couldn't see the light. And I'd go in there and do
This is
my
gonna
workout.
be a movie. At some point, this has got to be a movie. Just how he got to work
But I
out
loved
as
it.
a kid because it was a different time.
I loved it. The excitement of just actually getting up there and dropping down to that box, going into that room, put that basketball thing up so the light would reflect, and get my workout and leave.
But I just want these guys to get this. It's okay. That's you. You love the working out. I
Yeah.
get that. But it's the healthiness that you
Yeah.
are.
Oh, yeah.
And the light that you bring. That you guys out there, if you take care of yourself, if you go to, like, check your blood, like we talk about the age, get in there, check it. You can live this full life
Yeah.
like that and have that kind of energy. I don't care if you jump rope or go swimming or jog or bike ride or just yoga and meditate, but it's about that kind of health for a lifetime, and you're not going to do it if you're not doing the glutathione.
You got it.
If you're bypassing the aminos.
Yeah, exactly.
Glutathione.
You can do that basic stuff, Johnny. Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so I mean, glutathione, it's a game changer, right? Glutathione, if you guys don't know what it is, it's produced in the liver naturally, but depletes really quick with sickness, alcohol, smoke. So at that point, you might be running low, and this is something we can blood test for too, so we can tell where your glutathione levels are at. And I don't see anybody out there even talking about tests like this, but glutathione, like I said, mother of antioxidants. Now, when we talk about this, think about your body, right? And oxidation. If you think about oxidation when it happens to a car. So if you're up north and you have salt on the street, what happens? It oxidizes the bumper usually and rust comes. Same things happen inside our body, oxidation, right? Oxidative stress in particular, which is horrible for you. So this will counterbalance the oxidative stress, plus getting rid of free radicals. And we obtain free radicals all throughout the day, walking around, environment, all these different things. And to a certain extent, we need some free radicals. But at that point, this will lower free radicals. And free radicals and oxidative stress can damage DNA, which is crazy. You're like, man, damaging my DNA. How can I get to this point? The other big thing for it, liver functions. If you have ALT, AST, or you have a fatty liver that your primary care is telling you about, and they're like, oh, just change your diet. Well, I can guarantee in 14 days with our protocol, your ALT and AST will either be normal or trending very, very down from where it was at. I mean, it's awesome. It's a game changer. I've seen, people in here, whether they're taking SARMs or something that their liver, because your liver is your filter, your body too. It's processing these things. And if you're taking in all these oral things and some of these things might be bad, At that point, it's going to put more stress on the liver, and with your liver not functioning properly, everything else is not properly running, like fats and all that. So ALT, AST, if you're looking for liver enzymes to go down, glutathione also will improve mood. And if you do take enough glutathione, and this is more than anybody's going to take out there, you're talking about like 3,000 milligrams, it can whiten your skin too as well. So it's kind of crazy at that point.
Hi.
What's up, Mona?
I'm taking the seat here. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how is this happening without me here? Come on now.
I know the big boss.
That's right. I just listen. I just hope that everything that you, because I could hear it, everything that you guys are talking about here, that people are just not like, brushing it off.
Yeah.
I hope they take it and they apply it to their life, because this is longevity.
Me
And
too.
we have access to so much shit around this time. Like, come on, we didn't have access 10 years ago. None of this existed, Something hurt, you're like, it doesn't matter, It was
Yeah.
never, it was like, yeah, I eat great, I work out, I try to stay healthy. Now you have access to actually do a blood work and check yourself and see what is happening in the body. Because if you look good with the outside, but you're all broken on the inside, it's
No
a
good.
problem.
Yeah,
It's
It's
definitely
a problem,
Definitely
okay?
is.
I
Definitely.
mean, trust me, I've seen it. I
Yeah.
have people don't go to the doctor until something is wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's a big
That used to
problem.
happen like 50 years ago. Come on.
Well, even the competitors I talk to, right? And I always talk to the competitors because that's one of the main things I opened the blood work up for. When I originally opened Titan, I knew a lot of competitors. I was a lot of friends with a lot of bodybuilders, and those guys were not getting their blood work checked. And I tell them, like, listen, this is real simple, real easy, and it's very inexpensive to do, right? And some of the responses were, well, listen, I don't want to see what's going on because I'm scared there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the main rebuttal for a lot of the
It
people.
is.
And at that point, you're like, well, listen, that's not really smart, man, because if you can catch some of these things in the earlier stages, you can take care of it, right? And if you let it keep going, then it's like you're rolling on the car and the tire is going to come off. You just don't know when it's going to come off. And at that point, it's like,
You
what
hit
do
it right
do?
on the nail. People have this fear now
Mm-hmm.
to check themselves, because they're like, oh, what about if something is wrong? The
Yeah.
more you go to the doctor, the more things are popping up. Yeah, if you're gonna go to the wrong person, it's gonna tell you
Right.
all the shit to do, and they're not doing the right thing and do the right blood panels to actually see what's wrong.
That's right.
But
That's
let
right.
me tell you something. People have access to this, and you guys are like the thing to actually show them the path, the road.
Yes, yes.
I hope they take advantage of it. I really
Me too.
do.
Me too.
Yeah, I hope so. It's like I'm taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
all
am.
about.
I am starting my peptides. I am loving
Yes.
it. I love my biotin.
Yes.
I just looked yesterday at my NAD. What is it? ND.
AOD?
I got both. I got AOD, and what's the other one for the clarity of the brain?
Oh, NAD.
NAD. That's what I need. See,
Robbie,
I
you
couldn't
need to get some of
remember
that in your IV. Robbie, next time you go get an IV, tell them you
Hey.
want some NAD in there. That is a game
Yes,
changer,
see,
like
I need
glutathione.
that in my life because I have so much shit on my list every day. My list is like, I'm like, dude, I need to remember everything.
I know.
Even if I
know.
write stuff down, I forgot I wrote it down. It's so much going on. So yeah, I'm starting that. I am so excited because I'm finally like,
Me too.
I have the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Optimal health. Here we go.
Yeah. So anyway, oh, I took your seat.
You did.
Oh shit. Okay. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm having the best time. We actually making
You got to have the
sense
ladies
over
in
here.
part. In
Yeah,
part.
I'm
You have to
making
have the woman
sense.
part in
That's
there.
right.
Talking about my life.
I love it.
He's looking at me like I took his throne or something.
Mona Marison, Miss Universe. We got the Mr. Olympia for decades and decades, competing and being on stage. What I love is going back and seeing you on stage with people like Lee Priest, Rich Gaspari. I just saw something. I think it was the Arnold Classic. I think it was you and Rich Gaspari down to that final two and stuff like that, and just seeing this young kid coming up, and then the legend you there, and the shoulders you've rubbed,
What?
the shoulders you have stood next to, and been in the trenches with, and learned from. Because I know your age, and I know that your knowledge,
Mhm.
but you pick up knowledge from all those elites,
Mhm.
and it sets you up differently in life.
Exactly.
It really does, because you're around that, and I get to suck this knowledge up, and it's not just the knowledge that you learn and where you came from and how you grew up, but it's the knowledge from Arnold, Lou, Rich, all these guys, little Brada, and then they give you those little tidbits, and I get to receive those tidbits if I
You
listen.
listen. Yeah.
Of course.
Not ask questions, listen.
Right.
Yeah.
And when Johnny talks about this stuff, and when he's talking about blood tests and getting there, it doesn't mean anything outside of where are you at.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you have to be on medication. It doesn't mean you have to do peptides. It doesn't mean any of that. It means let's find out where you're at and then move forward.
You move forward.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But I don't understand why people hear it and don't move on it.
They think that maybe it doesn't pertain to them or they're okay, whatever it is. You know, a lot of people, you know, I talk to them about blood work and then I start breaking down why they should get blood work, because usually when we say blood work, unless you're in our industry or you're very educated about what I'm talking about, you think, all right, well, I go into my general practitioner and I get blood work. And yes, you get blood work. That's absolutely correct. But what tests are they running on you in this blood work? And then I start talking, I'm like, okay, because I know exactly what these guys prescribe and what they write for tests. So I'm like, listen, this is what they did for you, right? So you got a cholesterol test, you got a complete metabolic panel, and a CBC, complete blood cell count. It's like, yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm like, but you're missing all this other stuff, right? And then we start talking about like, hey, how's your energy level? How's your mental clarity? How's libido action, right? Is your body responding like it used to, right? And they're like, oh, no, you know. I'm like, well, listen, this is why you want to run the blood test, because it sounds like you might have low testosterone or something's going on.
And the doctor will say, if that number is, let's say, 350,
Yep.
oh, you're fine.
Yep.
You're healthy.
Yep.
Now,
So
I just want to make a metaphor on this. If I squatted anything less than I squatted today and Robbie wasn't here, I could probably go, cool, awesome. I got a leg workout in, guys. But Robbie was here and he saw me and he goes, yeah, no, get here, get here. And so the metaphor there is this: you may be going through life and you may be working out, and I hear that a lot.
Yep.
But are you taking it to the level that you can go to?
right.
And are you around the right people? I had Robbie here today. We all have John that could look at those numbers better than your doctor
Yep.
and go, hey, we can do better.
Can do better
Right.
always. Age has nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
It has nothing to do
Made up
with it.
mind is more powerful. Imagination. I mean, you have to include the imagination of what you want to look like and what you want to accomplish. There has to be a consistent thing going on back and forth, back and forth.
But they think that it's done by 35. They think they can't create this physique. Well, you're sitting right next to me, almost 80, looking like a Greek god.
That's because I do the work. You have to do the work. You have to
No,
be
because you
consistent.
believe you
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
They need to believe they
Yeah.
can do it, and they got to go over there and start the process
Yeah.
with Titan Medical.
You know, the other thing is you're consistent. Consistency is key in anything that you do. The more consistent you are with it, the better you're going to do at it, usually. I mean, so if you're consistently eating correctly, you're consistently training properly, you're going to get consistent results. If you decide that, you know, I'm going to, you know, because a lot of these guys, you know, they think it's all chemical warfare, you know, especially the younger guys. How much can I do? How many different components can I add in? And then you look at him, you're like, what are you doing, bro? And he's like, he's telling you like 10 different things. I'm like, well, you don't look that good, man, for 10 different things. I'm like, you know, I'm thinking if you're going to do this much stuff, I mean, you should be looking amazing, like amazing. And that's just not happening. So I don't know if it's the work ethic or people just want instant gratification, because listen, the old school guys have way more work ethic and work way harder. In my opinion. Okay.
No, this is reality. I know today might be a little harsh for a lot of people, but I think today needs to be a little slap to a lot of people
For real.
out there.
For
And
real.
you got to stop saying that maybe you think you're doing the very best you can. Maybe you're not. And that's not a cop against you. I want to be told. I want to be told. I like that he says, stop that. Put another plate on. I like that. And if you
Yeah.
don't like that kind of push, Come on, Johnny. You and I text every day and
put
every
on the
show.
iron.
Are you moving it? Are you
You got to put
going?
on the iron.
Hell yeah.
But everything about life, you should do
Everything,
that.
not just that. Everything about life.
Yeah, I agree,
You
man.
got
You
to
got to
go
dig
out,
down
put
deep.
your heart and soul in it. Believe that you can accomplish it. But stop listening to all that. I can't. You can't. I don't think I can do this. I don't want to hear it. Seriously.
I mean, participation trophies and all that have spurred some of this stuff that we're talking about. So you got to get that out. There's winners and losers in life. And what are you going to be? And what are you going to do to get there? And when Robbie was talking about before, you got to have this and you got to have this too. Because you ain't got a heart and you got the mind, you ain't going to do nothing. So at that point, like, you got to dedicate yourselves. Nobody's going to do it for you. I mean, you guys are talking about your partners. Listen, I have a great partner. My wife is amazing in every single way, shape, and form. The only part that I don't get from my wife is she's not a big workout person, and I am. So I'm dragging her ass to the gym. I don't care because I want to get her better. But, you know, that'd be nice to push a little bit. I've always been a self-motivator, and sometimes you got to be. But if you have a partner that's pushing you, you're lucky. You're a lucky person. So thank that partner, even if she's kicking you in the ass when you don't want to go to the gym or you don't want to eat right, and she's doing the right thing for you. So you got to love her for that. So that's a beautiful thing. But, yeah, man, it's a game of consistency and hard work. I truly believe in anything you're going to do, whether it's business, whether it's working out and building your body or whatever you're going to do. I mean, these are essential things that you need to do or need to have.
I love it. Thanks for taking time today,
Awesome.
Johnny. Man,
Sure.
I love it. I love that we got to sit down with. Again, John is the owner and CEO of Titan Medical. We have my friend for decades, the legend Robbie Robinson, the Black Prince, right here
I love it.
from the swamps of Florida.
Awesome.
And again, telling you, you can do this if first mindset, believe,
Yeah.
check your
Passion.
blood, passion,
Passion.
and don't think that the go to the old school mentality. Put the work in.
Definitely. You got to do the work.
Put the work in. That's the best statement put out there. It definitely is. It's so true.
We will be back in about an hour and a half for a sit down again with the whole crew over at Titan Medical. So check back in here. In the meantime, guys,
Yes,
have
sir.
a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robbie.
Sure.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody. See you
Thank
guys
you.
later.
Have a good day. Awesome, man.